Alright, those of you who are still struggling and didn't do so hot on the K-checks, this video is for you guys. Y'all are supposed to be watching this video, and you can rewatch this video as many times as you need, and you need to make sure that you complete the Google Doc, and that will kind of be your way of showing us, Miss Sorrells, Miss Mitchell, Mr. Nelson, whether or not you understand what you're doing. You're welcome. The 4 steps are the same. Now, the way I set up my 4 steps and the way you set up your 4 steps may be different. That's okay. So the first step is you align these vertically. So I'm going to take my fraction. I got 4 and 3/6. Put my little L there. And I got my 5 and 3/4. Okay, now this is where we may differ a little bit, and that's okay. I just organize my steps like this. So my first step goes here. Okay, my second step will go here. And my second step, I'm going to find the least common denominator of the 2 denominators. In this case, my denominators are 6 and 4. Okay, now, there's several ways to do this. My personal favorite way is if you just know what the least common denominator is going to be, you can just list it. In this case, I know that 6 goes into 12 twice and 4 goes into 12 3 times, and that's the smallest multiple that they have in common. Okay. You could also, there's a variety of ways. You can list the multiples, you can do prime factorization to find it, but 12 is going to be the least common denominator. So my next step, step number 3, is I'm going to multiply across to get the same denominators. So I already determined in step 2 that the denominator needs to be 12. So I'm going to go over here and write 12 for both of these. Okay. Now the whole numbers I can just bring over. So this 4, it's not affected by this process, and this 5 is not affected by this process. So I just bring them over. Okay, now I look at this denominator. What can I multiply by 4 to get 12? Well, in this case, 4 times 3. So if I multiply the denominator by 3, I multiply the numerator by 3. So 3 times 3 gives me 9. Okay, and in this case, I look over here. What can I multiply by 6 to get 12? Well, I can multiply it by 2. So if I multiply the denominator by 2 and multiply the numerator by 2, 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, that's step 3. Alright, step 4. Step 4 is you add the whole numbers and you add the numerators. Okay, so 4 plus 5 gives me 9. Okay, and then I'm just going to write so y'all can see this. But I've got a numerator of 6 and a numerator of 9, and my denominator is 12. So this will actually equal 9, and 6 plus 9 is 15 twelfths. Now we don't stop here because we actually have another whole number. This is an improper fraction. Improper fraction is when the numerator is bigger than the denominator. Okay? So in this case, I've taken a whole object and I've divided it into 12. That's what this this 12 right here means. So the numerator tells us how many of those pieces we have. We have 15 in this case. So I actually have more than one. So what I can do is I can take 12 of those pieces out. So I can take 12 of those pieces out, and that will make one whole that I can add to here. So I'm going to add 1 to this 9. So what I end up with is 10. Now if I take 12 away to make one whole, that's going to leave me with 3 pieces left over. So I end up with 3 over 12. Okay, but I'm not done yet because I also have a common factor of this numerator and denominator. This is not in lowest terms. So I'm going to simplify. That does not affect the whole number. Okay, so I know that I can divide the numerator by 3 and the denominator by 3. And 3 divided by 3 is 1. And 12 divided by 3 is 4. Okay, and like I said, the whole number stays the same. So I end up with 10 and 1/4. Okay, that's about as complicated as it gets. Just to review, whenever you have fractions, you can add the whole numbers together. So the 4 and the 5 can be added together, but the fractions, the denominators have to be the same. So step 1, 2, and 3 is about getting the denominator the same. And step 4 is now adding the numerators and then simplifying. And in this case, I have to also make this a proper fraction or a mixed number. And so that's why I went from a 9 and 15 twelfths to 10 and 3 twelfths. And then I had to simplify 3 twelfths. So I end up with 10 and 1/4. That's basically it. Alright, make sure you take the Google Doc questions. There should be, I believe, 4 questions on there. Show us what you know. Take your time. Make sure you do your best. And hopefully you understand everything. Thank you for your time. Bye.